Hi everyone, I'm Tawana Brown Smith. Welcome to Mom's Guide to Travel. Well, I saw a request for blog articles from Twitter Moms and Alamo in conjunction with a contest that they're doing, and it was a blog for an article on 10 tips for distraction-free travel. And I thought that it would make a really interesting article, and I had to really think about it because I had to think about what things cause distractions while you are traveling or while you're on vacation. And these are some of the things that I came up with. And, you know, we all have our different viewpoints on what causes distractions and how we can limit them. But here are 10 things that I came up with. One of the main culprits, and this is just from our own experience, but one of the main culprits when you're traveling that can cause distractions is the cell phone. Now, the cell phone is our friend. We're all, uber connected right now. But at some point, you have to decide when you're going to turn it off or when you're going to silence it or put it on vibrate. Now, some people may argue that when you leave the phone at home, that's more of a distraction because you feel out of touch. But I'm not arguing for leaving the phone at home. I'm just saying limit the usage. Turn off your Twitter forwards and your email pushing to your phone and your text message alerts. The second thing that I feel causes distractions are handheld video games. Again, in moderation, because they can be lifesavers for parents when you just kind of need like a little mental break from your children, the older ones, and you kind of want to like give them their moment and give them something to do because they just get bored. And I think that the video games are okay in moderation. If they're playing with them the whole time and they're not seeing all the beauty there is to see on the way to your location, because the journey actually is a part of the whole experience, then that can be to their deficit. Not deficit, but it's not to their benefit. The other thing that causes distractions is poor planning. Poor planning meaning not planning out the activities that you're going to do when you get there. Sometimes I know that my husband likes to just go by the seat of his pants, and he gets frustrated by me sometimes because I'm always like, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to go here, we're going to go that. But I just feel like, I should have an idea of what's out there, what's going on. I love going on the internet and reading reviews from people who've been to certain restaurants, who've been to certain attractions, and can tell me things about cost and wait time. And it helps me to plan out our trip better. Something that goes along with that is also a distraction is running out of money. And if you run out of money, it's because of poor budgeting and poor planning. Because if you planned accordingly, then maybe you would know how much the attraction costs, how much the hotel costs, how much food might cost certain restaurants, and then you could sort of budget your way accordingly and have a little extra money to buy some goodies for people and yourself. Something else that's a distraction, family demands. Sometimes when you're traveling, just a trip going to visit family in different locations where they live, sometimes your family and friends want to see you like every day that you're there. And you miss the opportunity of actually going out and seeing, everything that the city has to offer. I know I'm from New York, and people that come to New York as tourists have probably seen more of New York than I have, which is just pretty sad. But when I go home, I see my family. I don't go around as much as I should. And there are a lot of new things that I should go see. Another thing that's a distraction, number 6, worrying about what's going on at your house back at home. And an easy way to mitigate that is to just leave a key with a family or a friend and, ask them to just go by there periodically and check on your house and make sure that everything is okay. And just, stay in touch with you about it. Seventh thing that can cause a distraction is poor ground travel or delays or mishaps, especially if you're renting a car. Nowadays, you don't have to stand in line. You can do like express rentals. You can, just zip on through. If you need to take a cab from the airport to, say, like your cruise ship, or maybe the cruise line or the hotel has a free shuttle and you don't have to pay for it. But it just takes a little bit of pre-planning and research in order to get that information so that when you get there, you're not distracted by it. Another thing is rigidity, being rigid. Okay, so I said that, I have a little bit of OCD and I have a problem sometimes, like over planning and mapping things out to the letter. But I don't have the expectation that we're going to stick to it, because I learned pretty early on, even before we had kids, that, my husband doesn't like to do 50 million things, whereas I want to do 50 million things. I don't want to just sit in a hotel room. So I learned how to be flexible and say, okay, if we just chill today, tomorrow, guess what? We're out the door. So we both, give a little, take a little. The ninth thing that helps to cause a distraction is disorganization. If you read anything that I write, especially my ebook, The Mom's Guide to Travel with Young Kids, and my blog, you'll see that I am an avid fan and promoter of the to-do list. You gotta have a to-do list. I mean, I don't know what I would do without a to-do list, especially having children. I can't even remember what I was about to say. But no, seriously, I can't remember something when I go from the first floor of the house to the second floor of the house, because, you just have so much going on. So the to-do list helps keep you organized, helps you remember to pack the things that you need to pack so that when you get to your location, you're not distracted by, oh my gosh, I forgot that. So to-do list. Another thing that can cause distraction is watching too much TV when you get to the hotel or your location. And I think another remedy, easy remedy, is to just have a conversation with the family before you go and say, listen, when we get on our vacation, let's do the opposite of what we normally do. So instead of us hanging around the house and just watching TV all the time, we're going to limit it to maybe when we get home at nighttime or early in the morning for like an hour. And the rest of the time, we're going to relax, turn off the tube, and just go and see what, the city or the location has to offer us. Now, I added a bonus one to this. This is my 11th distraction and a tip for that distraction. And it's just something that I know has happened to people on many different vacations. And it's sickness. Now, some things you can't avoid, like catching a germ or a bacteria or something like that that's airborne. However, food sicknesses, a lot of times when we go to other countries, our bodies are not accustomed to certain spices or certain foods. So, having gone overseas and gone to some locations where, the ethnic food is pretty unique to my system, I try and take it easy and go for something a little more mellow, something a little bit more generic, and just sort of like ease my way into the food, because that's the worst thing that you could have happen to you and could be distracting for you when you're on your vacation is bad food reactions. That's the nicest way I can put it. So anyway, hopefully these tips for distraction-free travel are useful to you and helpful to you, and you can use it on your next trip. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.